This program was previously recorded. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Porter County Perspective. My name is Jo Parlock of WDSO's News Department, also the director of that. And today my guest is Stephanie Letic, who is the marketing director of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Northwest Indiana. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. First off, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little about how you came to become marketing director?
Yeah, so my name's Stephanie. So I work for Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Northwest Indiana. I was previously on the Porter County Boys and Girls Club side. I've been with the organization for 7 years now, and I've loved every year of it.
How does your role as marketing director contribute to the success of the organization?
So a lot of what I do on a daily basis is, just promoting what we're doing inside the clubs, whether that's through social media or videos, photography, flyers, things like that. So really just getting the word out there about what we're doing and helping us raise money, but also talking about what we're doing inside the clubs.
Can you tell us some of the history of the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, so in 2018, we actually merged Letic and Porter County clubs. So they were two separate organizations, but then we came together as one. So right now, we are Greater Northwest Indiana, and we're both counties. We have 10 clubs throughout the region, and one of them is in Chesterton.
Well, this segues well then. What clubs fall under the jurisdiction of Greater Northwest Indiana?
Yeah, so the 10 of them are, let's see if I can remember all 10 right off the top of my head.
All right.
We've got Chesterton, Valpo, South Haven, and Portage. And then in Lake County, Gary, Cedar Lake, Maryville, Hammond, East Chicago, and there's one more. And I can't remember the 10th. But those are on the Lake County side. So.
Okay. Combined, how many children receive services provided by the Boys and Girls Club?
So throughout all 10 clubs, we're averaging about 6,000 members that are registered, with about 2,500 that are attending every day. At our Chesterton Club, we have about 200 attending every day.
What would you say is the mission of these branches of the Boys and Girls Club?
So our mission is just to say the actual full mission is to inspire and enable the youth of our communities to realize their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens.
Noble. Okay, this is a long one.
Okay.
If you were a child walking into a Boys and Girls Club for the first time, what would you expect to experience? Is there anything that you would specifically encourage a child to do there?
Yeah, so when you walk into our clubs, you can tell that they're just a fun, safe environment. So, our Chesterton Club specifically, when you walk in, the lobby is big and it feels open and it feels inviting. And then you might turn the corner and you see the rock wall and you see the gym and you see all the fun things that we have going on. So it's kind of awe-inspiring when you walk in. You just feel very, very welcomed. And then, I would encourage them to really try every different room. We've got art rooms, we've got STEM rooms, we've got extra gaming studios. So really just kind of getting out there and maybe trying something new. If you've been afraid of heights, hop on the rock wall and try it. Who knows, you might like it.
Can confirm. It's a nice experience there. What types of programming are offered by the Boys and Girls Club, and are there any surprising skill sets that you might expect a member to pick up that they might not expect?
Yeah, so our programs, they really vary. So each club is kind of a little bit different, but our standard programs are like the art room and the STEM lab and the gym. So we're really diverse in that, and we have homework help at all of our clubs. So every day, our staff members are there to help kids get their homework done so that they can go play. Some of the interesting programs that I think would be like at our Gary Club, we have a fashion class. So they have sewing machines, and so they're doing their own fashion and they're making their own clothes. They reupholstered chairs, so they're learning a little bit of reupholstery. Here locally at the Chesterton Club, I know we just partnered with Purdue and they're doing a nutrition class. So they're learning to make smoothies, make their own trail mix, learning about how much sugar is in things. So they're learning to cook along with learning those nutrition habits. So we have some unique programs that I think a lot of people don't really know are out there.
What can you tell us about the sports leagues that operate out of the Boys and Girls Club?
So we have a lot of different sports. I would say at our Chesterton Club, we have dodgeball, flag football, volleyball, basketball. At some of our other clubs, we have soccer and cheer camps. So we really encourage the kids to get out there and try a sport they've never tried. A lot of our younger ones that are in the leagues, they may have never played these sports before. So it's kind of a chance for them to get out there and try it without feeling the pressure of being cut from a team or something like that. I would say one of our big ones is dodgeball, actually, because you don't really see dodgeball leagues at a lot of places.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a popular one for our kids as well.
Is there a cost to enrolling a child as a member of the Boys and Girls Club? And if so, are there scholarships available to cover that fee for those who are unable to afford it?
Yeah, so our annual fee is $40. So it's $40 a year to attend after school. We do have a summer camp that is an additional cost. But for just your average day after school, it's $40 for the whole year. We do have scholarship fees or scholarship assistance. So if there is a family who can't afford the $40 or can't afford our summer Kid Stop fees, we do offer scholarships for those, and that's based on a sliding scale.
What do you think listeners might find surprising or unexpected about the Boys and Girls Club?
Something that always catches people off guard is definitely our price. That $40 a year is relatively inexpensive. And then also just the diverse programs that we have. I think people think that we might just be kind of like a childcare, but we're so much more than that. No matter what the passion is, we have something for those kids. We have recording studios in some of our clubs. So kids are making songs and things like that. So I think the combination of the price and what all you get with that price always kind of throws people off guard.
Can you tell us about the Boys and Girls Club program, Kid Stop?
Mm-hmm. So our Kid Stop program is a before and after school inside the schools, and that's at our Valpo schools. So they're open in the morning and they're also open after school. We do have a Kid Stop program that runs like during spring break. So that would be held at the club, and that is run at all of our clubs. So it's kind of, there's two different kind of Kid Stops that we do both before and after school, and then when school is out.
Besides before and after school club activities, what can you tell us about summer programs?
The summer is so much fun. We take field trips probably 2 to 3 times a week. So they can go anywhere locally, or we have gone into Chicago, like to the Field Museum and things like that. So really our summer is just jam-packed with fun. There's fun both in the clubs if we're not leaving the club that day. So there'll be running programs, doing fun things like STEM activities, doing, like things that might explode and building cars and things like that. So it's a lot of fun programs. And then the days that we leave, they might go to a splash pad or a museum. They might go to the Dunes Beach. So there's a lot of fun field trips as well.
Coming up soon is the Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year event. What can you tell us about that?
Our Youth of the Year event is our premier event. And so what that is it's actually ran through Boys and Girls Clubs of America. And so we have a local competition, state, regional, and then national. So our local clubs each pick a candidate, and they represent their club as their local Youth of the Year. And then as our 10 clubs, we come together and we choose one winner to send off to state. So these candidates that are chosen have attended the clubs for a couple of years. They have good GPAs. They're helpful inside the clubs, and they just kind of embody everything that we want a club kid to have, helpful, motivated, and that sort of thing. So then we choose our winner and they go down to state.
What can you tell us of the past winners?
So we have had a lot of phenomenal winners. In 2021, we had Marcus Steele from our Gary Club. He actually made it all the way to nationals. He was one of 4 finalists in the National Boys and Girls Clubs of America Youth of the Year, which we've only ever had one other national candidate in the history of our organization. And then Sonia Kurova, she was a winner in 2019. She won state and went on to regionals. She now is studying at Columbia. She's studying mechanical engineering. So we love following her story. She's doing phenomenal things in the engineering field. So we've had a lot of phenomenal candidates, and for 4 years in a row now, we have won state. So
that's an impressive lineup. I'll say that.
Yes.
What are some of the goals the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Northwest Indiana has set for the future?
We are really looking to expand all of our clubs and really renovate them and get them up to date. Our Chesterton Club is fairly new. Our Valpo Club is brand new. We built that last year. Our East Chicago and Hammond clubs have been recently renovated. So we have a goal of renovating one club a year, and we're on track to do that because we know we really need to get these clubs up to date and current and new things that kids want in their club. So that is one big goal of ours.
If businesses and individuals wanted to make a monetary gift to benefit the Boys and Girls Club, how could they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can go online. Our website is bgcgreaternwi.org, or they can stop by one of their local clubs and walk in and talk to a club director, and they can make a gift there.
Besides monetary gifts, are there also volunteer opportunities available for people who would want to get involved in that kind of capacity?
Yeah, absolutely. We have volunteers that either, mentor kids or are league coaches or just, helping out in general in the club. Some companies come in and volunteer as a company. We might need some paint refreshing, things like that. So they might volunteer as a group. So there's a lot of different volunteer activities. Even some of our events like Youth of the Year and golf outing, they can come and help with that.
Are there any upcoming events or fundraisers for the Boys and Girls Club that you'd like to promote?
Yeah, so we have our Youth of the Year. That's coming up February 23rd. You would hear 8 speeches from 8 amazing kids. It's definitely one of my favorite events. And then later on in the year, we have both our golf outing and our Christmas to Remember event. The Christmas to Remember event has 500 kids that come together at one night, and they all have $150 worth of Christmas gifts that they're receiving that night. So we have sponsors and volunteers who come together to make sure that all of these kids have a Christmas that they won't forget, so that we know every kid is at least getting something. It's such an impactful night. They get to meet Santa, they get their gifts, they get food and cookies and stuff. So it's a really impactful night.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the Boys and Girls Club that I haven't given you a chance to talk about today?
No, I think once you go into a club and you see it, you meet the kids, you see what our mission is and what we're doing and how fun it is and how diverse our programs are. I will say I'll jump back to Youth of the Year. I forgot to mention that we offer scholarships to all of our candidates. So our winner gets $5,000. Our second place is $2,500, and then every candidate who participates gets $1,200. So I think that's something really cool, and that's part of our Youth of the Year program. It's something that we're proud of to be able to offer that to our candidates.
All right. That's going to be it for this week's edition of the Porter County Perspective. I've been WDSO's News Director, Jo Parlock, sitting down with Stephanie Letic of the Boys and Girls Club. I hope you all have a lovely afternoon.